This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing, nutritious, and delicious. There are numerous flavors to choose from. There is strawberry sea moss, peanut hard-on, beaten thing, pineapple sea moss, mango sea moss, pineapple ginger, ginger root, cucumber ginger, and so much more. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Call now and you won't be disappointed. If you think the juices were good, then try Starboys Jello, full of flavor and sumptuous. Again, call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now. Hello everybody, I'm Simon Preston and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the platform where we'll come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. And before we get into the contents of this video in particular, let's not forget this. Regardless of whatever team takes the field, at the end of the day, they're representing Jamaica, the entire nation, and the full support should be behind them 150%. 150%. Whether it is Reggae Boys, under 20, under 17, senior women, U17 women, U20 women, U15 men or women, beach football, futsal, lacrosse, hockey, rugby league, rugby union, tennis. Regardless of which national team takes the field, they're representing Jamaica, and the full support should be behind them all the way. And we have a grand opportunity to not only come out of the group, but to go to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Yes, you heard me correctly. A grand opportunity to go to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, and who knows, maybe even further as well. We want to win it. Why shouldn't we have those ambitions? Some people might call it lofty. I call it realistic. Why? Look at the talent that is involved in that squad. Why shouldn't we want to say and have the ambition to win? That's exactly the sort of ambition that we should have. So let's use this opportunity so that you can get to know the girls a little bit better. I know many people have been asking, who's that number 12? Who is that number 7? Who's that in goal? Many questions have been raised in that factor. So what I'm going to do right now is pull up a picture of the players and give you some information more about these young ladies. Okay, so I figured let's start in relation to the goalkeeping methods, so that you guys can get to know these girls a little bit better, and I'll break them down one by one so that you can be able to understand who they are, a little bit about them, and so that you can learn a little bit more about them and can say, okay, well, Simon gave me this information about this player, and I know much more about the team at this point in time. So you guys ready? All right, here we go. Let's start with the goalkeepers, okay? As you know, it's 3 goalkeepers. And the first goalkeeper that we're going to start with is number 1, Sydney Schneider. Where do we start with Sydney Schneider? Damien from McGregor says, good day, Simon. Good day, Damien. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Okay, so Sydney Schneider. Let's start with her in net, right? Sydney Schneider was the first goalkeeper to play for Jamaica in a Women's World Cup. She was the goalkeeper against Brazil and also the goalkeeper as well against Italy, the first 2 matches of the last World Cup. Let's get to know Sydney a little bit more in terms of her background. So she's 23 years old. At the last World Cup, she was 19 years old. Yes, that is right. She was a teenager at the last World Cup. She's 23 years old at this point in time. And she has also grown leaps and bounds since then. And I'm not talking about her height at 5 feet 10 inches tall. I'm talking about the progression that she has made from the University of North Carolina, Wilmington Seahawks, to being a professional footballer. Because after graduating from university, she was drafted by the Washington Spirit in the women's NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League in the United States, and even moved to another club, the Kansas City Current. And now she took on a new adventure, and that was to play overseas in Europe. And she signed a deal with Sparta Prague. Yep, that is right, Sparta Prague, the same club that we did the same league with Alika Keane. So that's a bit of information from the club perspective. She's 23 now, so just imagine it. The next World Cup, Sydney would be 27. That would be her 3rd World Cup at 27, and her 4th World Cup would be 31. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more about her background. Sydney Schneider, her maternal side of the family is Jamaican, and her father's side is German. Sydney Michelle Schneider. So father side, German, mother side, maternal side, Jamaican. Born in New Jersey, Dayton, New Jersey. So that's a little bit more about Sydney so that you can see her a little bit better. What else about Sydney? Well, she's been part of the national program for the last 7 years, and she competed for Jamaica at the CONCACAF Women's Under-17 Championship in 2016. That took place in Grenada. And of course, she competed for Jamaica at the Under-20 level as well at the CONCACAF Women's Under-20 Championship in 2018. So in relation to this aspect in particular, she's represented Jamaica from the Under-17 level, the Under-20 level, and also the senior level as well. And she's gone on to make over 20 appearances for Jamaica. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, it's been quite a landmark for her. So that is a great situation, isn't it? Yeah, so a little bit more about the background. Her father, German, mother, was born in the United States to a Jamaican-born father and mother. So it's actually her grandparents on her mother's side that were born in Jamaica. So that gives a little bit of insight. And of course, the father's side is German. So that's a little bit about Sydney Schneider, 23 years old. Let's now move on to the next goalkeeper that is in this list, and that is Rebecca Spencer. Rebecca Spencer is 32 years of age and she's 5 feet 5 inches tall. And she is a veteran. And interestingly enough, when she was at Arsenal, she played with a vast number of players of Jamaican heritage as well. So this is a player that is quite well known in England, somebody that has demonstrated great ability, someone that has strutted her stuff quite well, and someone that has been quite an important force within the Jamaican team since her debut, you could say, which came in 2021. Remember, in relation to Rebecca Spencer, she kept a clean sheet on debut. You guys remember that? It came against Nigeria. You guys remember that situation in particular? Yep, she kept a clean sheet against Nigeria, Jamaica's first ever victory over an African team. Yep, that's right. And going back to the situation in relation to Arsenal, she played with another reggae girl there, and that was Laura Jackson. Yes, you guys remember Laura Jackson. She played for Jamaica against Chile, against South Africa, against Panama. So she has a few appearances. Laura Jackson has her coaching badges and gaining all the experience that she can from that sort of Anglian perspective. Rebecca Lee Spencer, that's her name. She was born in London, in England, and it is her father's side of the family that was born in Jamaica. Her father was actually born in St. Thomas. And to get to know a little bit more about Rebecca, she represented England at the under 19 and under 20 level, and this was back in 2010, right? So in 2010, she represented England at the under 19 and under 20 level. In terms of clubs, she's played for Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Gillingham. She's actually played overseas as well in France at Seo, Birmingham City. We mentioned Arsenal. She went back to Arsenal, Birmingham City. She's even played at Chelsea, West Ham United, and also Tottenham Hotspur, where she's been since 2019 as well. And of course, in the World Cup qualifiers, she played against the likes of Bermuda, against the likes of the Dominican Republic, and a little bit further as well, even in Mexico as well, a linchpin in goal for the Jamaicans as well. And you could even remember, if you guys were at the National Stadium against Bermuda, the first game of the World Cup qualifiers, remember the fans were shouting, "Go on, Manuel Neuer," because of how good she was with her feet and also being that sweeper keeper sort of role. So she gave a lot of confidence, you could say, to Jamaican fans within that game in particular. So that is a little bit about Rebecca Spencer, so you get to know her a bit better. And Rebecca Spencer, she's also the second Jamaican goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet at a World Cup, the first being Alien Whitaker, who kept a clean sheet in a 0-0 draw against Egypt in 2001, and that was the Under-20 World Cup. Yep. So that is the situation there. And let's move on to the other goalkeeper that we have here, and this is Leah Brooks. Now, Leah Brooks is yet to make her debut for Jamaica in terms of the senior team, but she has been part of numerous national programs in particular. We saw her at the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship recently, and we've also seen her as well travel with the national team quite often. Remember the friendly internationals against Paraguay at the back end of last year, and also the tour of Australia earlier this calendar year as well. So she has been involved in those encounters, and I do think at 18 years of age, she's getting the experience that she needs, learning from Sydney Schneider, learning from Rebecca Spencer, and she's already getting some great plaudits for the work that she has been doing. Firstly, for what she did in Hawaii, and of course, the Washington State Cougars now. So 18 years of age, and she is the second youngest player in the current Reggae Girlz roster at the World Cup. So those are the three goalkeepers, so you get to know them a little bit better in the grand scheme of things, and certainly moving from strength to strength, and an outstanding future that lies ahead for Leah Brooks. In terms of her hometown, she was born in Eugene, Oregon. That's where she grew up, and of course, it's her parents and grandparents with the Jamaican heritage. Okay, so let's move further along, shall we? Let's progress to the defenders. Yeah, let's go to the defenders. Okay, I'm sure you guys see the pictures here. Good. So let's go to Vian Sampson, shall we? Vian Sampson is 27 years old. She's a defender, Very diverse because she could play anywhere in a back four and even as a defensive midfielder as well. Born in London, 27. She's going to be, well, she turned 27 in July, and she started off in the youth ranks of Charlton Athletic before going to Arsenal. Spent some time at Arsenal before going to West Ham. Went on loan to London City Lionesses, San Marino Academy in San Marino. So she's played abroad as well. Charlton Athletic again, and now she's playing at Hearts over in Scotland. And that's where she has been since 2022. Represented England at youth level, under 17 and also under 19 as well. And of course, could have been part of the 2019 roster, but here she is now in 2023, and we're very happy to have her involved. But a vastly experienced player, especially when she represented England at youth level, being part of the squad in UEFA Women's under 17 qualifiers, under 19 qualifiers as well. So she has done quite a bit in terms of youth level football, and the experience that she's garnered is great. She's even won the FA Cup as well with Arsenal, and this came in 2015, where she won the FA Cup with Arsenal in the final, defeated Notts County 3-0, and that was at the New York Stadium in Rotherham. So pedigree, defender, vastly experienced, and certainly an asset towards the program. Thank you very much. I appreciate this very much, greatly. So we've spoken about Vian Sampson. Let's now talk about Chantal Swaby. Chantal Swaby, 5 feet 11 inches tall, 24 years of age, born in West Hartford, Connecticut, born to Jamaican parents, and of course she is the younger sister of Alison Swaby. Currently she's plying her trade over in France. Chantal is also a former United States youth player. She represented the United States under-19 team not too long ago in the 2016-2017 timeframe, representing Jamaica since 2018, and she's gone over to amass over 30 caps for Jamaica. And of course, she was an important part for Jamaica in picking up the 2 bronze medals at the CONCACAF Women's Championship in 2018 and also in 2022. 2018 was in the United States and 2022 was in Mexico. Also, she has won trophies club-wise as well, having represented Rangers at the Scottish Women's Premier League in 2022 and won the title with the Rangers. So she's won trophies with them as well. And that is Chantal Swaby, 24 years of age, and she's going to be 25 on Jamaica's Independence Day. So she was born on August 6th, so she's going to be 25 on August 6th as well. We'll press on further to Konya Plummer. Konya Plummer is 25 years old, and she's going to be 26 on August 2, the same day that Jamaica plays Brazil. That's right, Konya Plummer will be 26 on the day that Jamaica plays Brazil at the World Cup. Konya Tejay Plummer, 5 feet 8 inches tall. She's a centre-back, born in Epsom in St. Mary. Football has been part of her entire life. She started playing at Rangers FC when she was 10 or 11 years old, which was the boys' team in St. Mary. She progressed to being captain in the team, went to Titchfield High School, and progressed fully. And the rest, you could say, is history from there on in, based on the performances that she was able to garner, being able to migrate to the States when she was 16 years old, getting to UFC, Southeastern Fire before that as well. Played with Orlando Pride when she was drafted in 2020 and was even loaned to Sweden in 2021. So an individual has represented Jamaica under 15, 17, 20, and even the senior team as well. And even before the national team appearances, she was a member of Jamaica's squad at the CONCACAF Under-17 Championship, which Jamaica hosted in 2013. You guys remember that? Under coach Meron Gordon, where Jamaica finished 4th. This is the first time that Jamaica were topping a group ever at a CONCACAF Women's Under-17 Championship, and also the furthest and the best Jamaican performance, as Jamaica finished 4th within that competition in particular. So it was an outstanding run from that sort of angle and perspective. She has 2 goals for Jamaica as well, Konya Plummer. She scored 1 against Guadeloupe and also 1 against Bermuda as well. So 2 goals for Jamaica, and that is Konya Plummer. We will progress further now to Denisha Blackwood. And Denisha Blackwood, quite a number of similarities with Konya Plummer. And I'll explain why. Because Konya Plummer was born in 1997, and Denisha Blackwood was also born in 1997. It's Denisha Selena Blackwood. That is her name. She's 26 years of age. And she was also a member of the Jamaica team at the CONCACAF Women's Under-17 Championship in 2013, where Jamaica finished fourth under coach Meron Gordon. To continue along this line of things, Denisha Blackwood has progressed quite nicely as well in terms of her path as well. As we know, she went on to play Champions League football for Slavia Prague in the Czech Republic, going on to the round of 16 of the competition. So she's played at that intensity as well, even playing in the United States with Orlando Pride and also with the Houston Dash as well. So this is an individual that has played quite a bit. And now she's playing over in France as well with Cat Van Duz in Issy in France as well. Someone that has played in the Czech Republic, someone that has played in the United States, and someone that has also played in France as well. So quite a bit of experience that Denisha Blackwood has garnered, and also picking up the Player of the Match award quite recently as well. Someone that has been a national player, as I made mention about the under 17 appearances. Her debut for Jamaica came in 2018, and this is the senior team that we're talking about. We know the course of the World Cup qualifiers that took place, and she has scored goals for Jamaica, Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda, Cuba, and the rest goes on from there on in, and even won the league title with Slavia Prague and the Czech Republic as well. So another vastly experienced, tenacious individual. And the next player that we're going to look at is, that's right, Alison Swaby. Now, Alison Swaby is the older sister of Chantal Swaby. 26 years old, Alison Renee Swaby, and she's going to be 27 on October 3rd, 1996. Also, she was born in Hartford, Connecticut, Jamaican parents, grandparents in terms of her heritage. And she took a compelling path in terms of her footballing development, as Iceland is where she began life in professional football. Iceland was where she began that journey for her, where she was playing her football at KFF, also known as Natsbjørn Fly of Fjordrolbagren. So that's basically where she began that journey in terms of the club football for her. And she scored goals, 5 goals in just a shade over 10 of 10 appearances. So she was scoring goals quite frequently when she was playing in Iceland. And she made the move shortly after that to Serie A with Roma, won trophies there. And then after that, moved to Angel City FC back in the States. And then here we are now with PSG, you know. So it's been quite a passage for her. In 2015, she was part of the United States under-20 team as well. And she was also, Swaby was also announced the Reggae Girl of the Year for 2021. So that was also great for her to be able to get those sorts of accolades as well. Her first goal for Jamaica came against Paraguay at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. Last minute winner against Paraguay as Jamaica secured a 1-0 victory. Thank you very much, Wayne. Really appreciate it. So that's a little bit about Alison Swaby, also appearing within her second World Cup as well. Let's now move to the midfielders. I know FIFA didn't arrange all of it to the T, but we're going through the different phases first, and then we get a bit further. So the midfielders, let's talk to Soleil Washington, even though a viewer, as somebody can play a little bit high on the park. Soleil Washington is the youngest player in the Jamaican squad. She is 18 years old. She turned 18 on July 1. So she is younger by Leah Brooks by about 5 weeks, roughly. So Soleil Washington is the younger sister of Giselle Washington. You all would know Giselle Washington from the last set of World Cup qualifiers, and Giselle Washington has been part of the national program for some time, playing at under 17 and also under 20 level for Jamaica as well. Soleil Washington made her debut for Jamaica against the Czech Republic in February earlier this calendar year, where herself and Cameron Simmons, who we'll talk about quite later, made a huge impression. Soleil Washington was important and even put the ball in the back of the net, but the referees did not award it as a goal in that occasion. But somebody, as I've made mention prior, an individual that might be a teenager, but is performing as an individual well beyond her years, and a true asset towards the young, as this Jamaican squad, and deserves to be part of this team. Soleil Washington, 18 years old, and plays for Concord Fire in the United States. We now go to Havana Salon, and with Havana Salon, it's a compelling case with her. She's 30 years old. Her name is Havana Margaret Salon. She's 30. She turned 30 in February, midfielder. And with Havana, she was born in Hong Kong. That's right, she was born in Hong Kong to a Cuban dad and a Jamaican mom. That's a little bit about Havana and her development. When she was 2 years old, she moved to the United States, was at Florida Gators in terms of school, and this, of course, is the University of Florida. Professional football went on to Seattle Reign, Washington Spirit, played in Scandinavia, Klepp over in Norway, Paris FC in France, went over to play in Cyprus at Apollon Ladies, returned to the United States with North Carolina Courage, and joined Houston Dash earlier this calendar year. Represented the United States at under 17 and also under 23 level, and made her debut for Jamaica in 2019. And Havana Sloan, she made her debut in that 3-2 victory over Chile, and got all the documentation that was necessary to be able to get over the line to be part of the World Cup squad, which is great, you know. So I'm very happy about that, you know. Very, very happy. And it's a compelling story in relation to Havana. Her father is Felix Salon, Cuban, as we made mention about, and Jamaican mom Sandra Brower. So she could have represented Hong Kong, the United States, Cuba, or Jamaica. So that's interesting, you know. So born in Hong Kong, it's yeah, quite riveting. She has 2 goals for Jamaica, as we know. She scored Jamaica's first goal in World Cup history. It was against Australia at the last World Cup, and her second came against St. Kitts and Nevis in the Olympic qualifiers of 2020. Yeah. In terms of her first name, Havana, it is a tribute to her paternal grandparents' country of birth. So that's the reason why she was called Havana. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Let's now talk about Peyton McNamara, shall we? Yes, let's talk about Peyton McNamara. Now, with Peyton McNamara, another individual that has been a national player since, you know, the under 20 days, born in the United States, and it's her mother's side that has the Jamaican heritage. Represented Jamaica at under 20 level in 2020, and also again in 2022 as well. And as we know, injury stopped her from going further within the competition, but glad to know that she's back. She represents the Ohio State Buckeyes, and she's not the first reggae girl to represent that university at Ohio State. There's another, and we'll get to her quite shortly. But Peyton made her debut against Nigeria in 2021, and in addition to that as well, this was the same game as well where Rebecca Spencer made her debut as well in that 1-0 victory over Nigeria. Peyton, 21 years old. She turned 21 in February, earlier this calendar year. She wears the number 7 jersey for Jamaica in terms of at the World Cup. It's the number 7 jersey, and we look forward to seeing more from her in the midfield. So look out for Peyton McNamara. The next player that we'll look on this list is Drew Spence. Yes, Drew Spence, the maestro, Drew Spence. So she's 30 years old, born in London. She'll be 31 later this calendar year. Her grandparents, Jamaican heritage. And with Drew Spence, she's represented England before, and this is the senior team. In 2015, she played 2 games for England's senior team. They were friendlies, and Mark Sampson, who was the coach at the time, gave Drew Spence her debut. Came against China, I believe, August 2015, and it was a 2-1 result in that game in particular. And it's good that England recognized her as the 192nd player to be capped by England. So nice added touch there for England to do that in particular. Made her debut for Jamaica in 2021. October 2021, her debut came against Costa Rica. And the rest is history, as she scored an important goal for Jamaica as Jamaica qualified for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. She scored a header against Haiti in the qualifiers. She was at Arsenal and Fulham at youth level, spent the vast majority of her career at Chelsea, because from 2008 to 2022, she has been at Chelsea. and she signed a deal at Tottenham Hotspur quite recently. So she has an extra 1 year left at Tottenham Hotspur. So 1 year left on her contract at Tottenham. And now here she is at the World Cup. But at Chelsea, you could honestly say that she's the most successful Reggae girl in terms of club football. And why do I say that? Well, 5 league titles, 5 Women's Super League titles, right? 4 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, a Community Shield, and also a WSL Spring Series winner as well. And also for country, she has been part of the best 11 for the CONCACAF W Championship in 2022. So the accolades are there to speak about what she has been able to go on and accomplish. And that is Drew Spence. We're going to now look at Jodie Brown. Yes, Jodie Brown appearing in her second World Cup. Jodie Kimon Brown, she's 21. She turned 21 in April. So this is our second World Cup. Can you imagine her third World Cup? She'll be 25. Her fourth World Cup, she'll be 29. There's still so much more to come. And guess what? We're yet to see her turn professional. So there's still a great degree of, let's just say there's so much more to come from Jodie Brown. And there's every reason in this world to be excited about her passage as well. She was at Montverde Academy in the last World Cup, and now she's plying her trade at Florida State. So it's only a matter of time before we see her make the transition to professional football. And we can talk about Jodie Brown for days, honestly. I remember from the JFF Grassroots Clinic back in 2014. I remember it was the St. Anne leg of the JFF Grassroots Clinic, and I was standing beside some of the coaches, and Jodie Brown was 12 years old at the time and just stood out, and the rest was history. I remember 2014 in particular, there was the CONCACAF Women's Under-15 Championship in the Cayman Islands, and she stood out. Top goal scorer, took Jamaica to the quarterfinals, and Jodie Brown was an important role there. She represented Jamaica at the Under-17 Championship at the Under-17 level in Grenada, and then the Under-20 in Trinidad and Tobago as well. So it was just brilliant, that sort of passage, and the growth in that time frame. Made her debut for Jamaica at 16 years old at the senior level. That last World Cup at 17, and here she's now at the second World Cup at 21. 14 goals, 15 goals for Jamaica in just a shade over 30 appearances as well. And she was also the best young player at the CONCACAF Women's Championship in 2018, and was also in the best 11 as well. Still more to come from Jodie Brown. Who do I have next on this list? Well, the next person on this list is none other than Calissa Van Zanten, also known as Kiki Van Zanten. Yes, so she was born in Illinois in the United States. So the background now. Her father's side is Dutch, hence the name Van Zanten, and her mother's side is Jamaican, so therefore hence the name Kiki Van Zanten, also known as Calissa Van Zanten. So, bearing that into mind now, she made her debut for Jamaica against Bermuda at the National Stadium and made a great impression. But did you know prior to that she played for the United States? Yeah, she played for the United States in under-15 and also under-17 level as well. Yeah. And her first goal for Jamaica came against Costa Rica, and it was an important one in a 1-0 victory. Why? Because it helped Jamaica to qualify for the Olympic playoff match against Canada. So, and it also helped Jamaica to secure the bronze medal at the CONCACAF Women's Championship. So that's why it was incredibly important for the impact that Kiki Van Zanten was able to make. Up next on this list, it's number 15, and that's Tiffany Cameron. 31 years old now. Her name is Tiffany Devona Cameron. Born in Toronto, Mississauga, to Jamaican parents. Both her mother and her father were born on the island. And growing up, Tiffany wasn't only football. She played basketball. She also did a bit of hockey. She could play the piano. So multi-talented from that standpoint. Played in school, and she's the only member of this Jamaican squad that is appearing in her third World Cup. So she played for Canada at the Under-17 World Cup in 2008, which was hosted in New Zealand. Canada went to the quarterfinals of that World Cup, and she represented Jamaica at the 2019 World Cup in France. And of course, here we are, 2023 in Australia and New Zealand. So this is our third World Cup, and the only member of this squad that will be in three that is appearing in our third World Cup. So a nice accolade or feather, you could say, in her cap. 31 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, and every time that she scores for Jamaica, Jamaica wins. So that is a nice little omen on her side of things from the Jamaican standpoint. And one of a few players, you could say, especially in the women's game, that has appeared for two different countries, because not only has she represented Canada at youth level, but she's also represented Canada at the senior team as well. You know, she represented Canada in six friendly matches, and even played with the likes of Christine Sinclair, Khadijah Buchanan. So she's gone on and has had a wealth of experience over this time frame. And that is none other than Tiffany Cameron. Okay, good. Next on this list is Paige Bailey Gale. And we got to see Paige Bailey Gale in late 2021. That's when she made her debut against Costa Rica in that 0-0 draw. We saw her in the World Cup qualifiers as well. And she's gone on to represent Jamaica in World Cup qualifying friendlies. She was born in London to Jamaican parents and grandparents. She's 21. She's going to be 22 in November, later this calendar year. Started her career at Arsenal in terms of the first team, went to Leicester, and now plying her trade with Crystal Palace. She's won the Super League, and this was in 2019 at Arsenal. So someone that has that accolade of winning the league itself, and has represented England at youth level as well, at under 17 and also under 18 level as well. So quite a bit of experience that she's been able to garner. Trudy Carter Braps. Trudy Carter is 28. She's going to be 29 in November as well. Trudy Carter also in her second World Cup, and has also scored 16 goals for Jamaica. Also scored in that important game where Jamaica qualified for the 2022 World Cup as well. Represented Jamaica at under 17 level, under 20 level. We've seen her in Italy, with Roma, with Ginthra, with Levante in Spain. A vastly experienced player. Her name is Trudy Sudan Carter. That's her name, Trudy Sudan Carter, so that you guys get to know her a little bit better. All right. Up next, it's Tierney Wiltshire. Now, Tierney Wiltshire was born in New Jersey, and she was born to Jamaican parents. Now, with Tierney, she's 25, and she's going to be 26 next year. We've seen her at right back, we've seen her at left back. I think she's an outstanding utility player towards the national team. She made her debut for Jamaica in September 2019. That's when she made her debut. That was, of course, of the Olympic qualifiers. And we've seen her at Houston Dash. We've seen her play overseas as well in Israel. And we've seen what she's been able to do for Jamaica. If she's needed to play left back, right back, she does a job effectively. And defensively, you can rely on her. You can rely on Tierney Wiltshire. And that is what she has proven to be, a reliable player. Let's now go to Atlanta Primus. Now, Atlanta Primus is 26 years of age, and it's an interesting story with Atlanta Primus because she is the daughter of former Reading and Portsmouth footballer Linvoy Primus. That's right, Linvoy Primus. You remember Linvoy Primus? Portsmouth, Charlton, Barnet, Reading, won the FA Cup in 2008. Now, here's the thing with Linvoy Primus. Linvoy Primus was born to a Jamaican mom and a Vincentian father, hence the name Primus. So Atlanta Primus's paternal grandmother was born in Jamaica. So that gives a bit of insight into Atlanta Primus. She scored her first goal for Jamaica recently in that 1-0 victory over Morocco. Up next, Kayla McCoy, also, well, now named Kayla McKenna. Now, she got married recently, so that's why her name is Kayla McKenna. She's 26. She's going to be 27 later this year in September. Also born in Illinois. Her grandparents are born in Jamaica, and her grandfather is none other than Pernell Charles. She was married to a footballer, Kieran McKenna, born in Scotland, and he most recently played for the Queen of the South. He's a centre half, great player. I remember him from his time at Hamilton Academic in the 2019-2020 season. very good defender, 6'4", strong presence, and won Scottish League One with Partick. So I remember the journey that he had as well. Kayla scores goals. Simply put, somebody that scores goals as a number 9, won the titles in Rangers, the Premier League 2022, and also the COVID season, the City of Glasgow Women's Cup. So an experienced individual within the squad, and that is Kayla McKenna. So we looked at those aspects in terms of defense, midfielders. Now we can look at forwards. Right? Good. So let's do that, shall we? Hope you guys are appreciating this content and the information about the girls. Cameron Simmons, she's 19 years old, and her parents were born in Jamaica. Now, Cameron Simmons' father played for the Reggae Boys, and that's Greg Simmons. You guys remember him? Played for Jamaica back in 1999, a few friendlies over in LA. Cameron Simmons also has a younger brother, Nick Simmons, and played for Jamaica under-17 team. And in addition to that, Nick is now playing in USL League One with the Richmond Kickers. Cameron Simmons made her debut for Jamaica quite recently in that tour of Australia, and even scored against the Czech Republic as well. And Cameron has also, just like I said about Soleil Washington, has earned her right to be within this team, not only in the 23, but it wouldn't surprise me, faze me, startle me if she started, because she's worked to be where she is at this point, and there's so much more to come from her as well. So I can't wait. And I think it's going to be quite a smooth passage and journey as well. So I'm looking forward to the work of Cameron Simmons. Up next, it's going to be Khadija Bunny Shaw. Khadija Bunny Shaw is 26. She turned 26 in January earlier this calendar year. Born in Spanish Town, San Diego. It's been quite a journey, and I can speak about her because of the passage that she went on. I remember when she was 14 years old and spoken about in the Jamaica Observer. I remember when she was 15 and chosen for the CONCACAF Women's Under-20 Championship in Panama. And remember when she took on when she went on the pitch. This is the same squad where you had Chiniela Asher, where you had Marla Sweatman, and she played in multiple CONCACAF Under-17 and multiple Under-20 championships. Multiple. I believe 3 Under-20s and 2 Under-17 championships. So vastly experienced as a teenager, even when she was going on to make her debut for Jamaica in 2015. 55 goals, 40 appearances for her country, a new contract at Manchester City, which ties her to the club at least until the summer of 2026. Vastly experienced, and the goals continue to flow for her. And already she has won trophies at club football as well, winning the League Cup as well. And from a Jamaican standpoint, the individual accolades continue to roll in as well. Order of Distinction, Manchester City Player of the Season last season, Goal of the Season last season. Somebody has won the Player of the Month twice last season. CONCACAF Female Player of the Year 2022. CONCACAF W Championship Best 11 for 2022. And of course, one of the best football players on the planet. And that's Khadija Bunny Shaw. Up next is Chayna Matthews. Well, she was born Chayna Lee Williams. However, she got married, and that's why she's now Chayna Matthews. 29 years old. She's going to be 30 in November and has 3 children. Yeah, so her husband is Jordan Matthews, who is a wide receiver, but you guys would have known him from his time at the Philadelphia Eagles, the Buffalo Bills, the New York Patriots, San Francisco 49ers. So he's been around quite a bit in terms of the league and the experience that he has been able to garner. He's 31, 6'3", 240 pounds, All-American 2013, and also part of the SEC in 2012 and also 2013 as well. So an individual that also is successful within his craft as well. Chayna scores goals, and we saw quite a number of them throughout the course of the Olympic qualifiers in 2019, 2020 as well. Was at the last World Cup, 2019, and here she is now in her second World Cup as well. And that is Chayna Matthews. And can you believe it? That's everybody in the squad. That's everybody in the squad. And of course, you have the head coach, Lauren Donaldson himself. There we go. Lauren Donaldson. Played on the island for Cavalier. Born in Jamaica. Played for Cavalier. 1980, he entered at the Denver Roadrunners as well. Played for Denver Kickers, Colorado Foxes. From a coaching standpoint, coached at Metro State Roadrunners, Colorado Foxes, was the assistant at Colorado Rapids. So he also has garnered quite a body of work for him as well. And that is Lauren Garfield Donaldson. And that is that in terms of the entire squad. If you guys desire further information on the players, you guys can let me know. But this was an information video so that you guys could get to know the players in the squad better and know a little bit more about them. Okay, so quite some interesting stories to take away from this sort of roster that you guys can be able to make keen note about, right? Kiki Van Zanten, her father's side is Dutch and her mother's side is Jamaican, right? You guys know that quite well. We spoke about Havana Salone. She was born in Hong Kong to a Cuban dad and a Jamaican mom. You don't find that every day, do you? Sydney Schneider, German dad and maternal side is Jamaican. Rebecca Spencer, London born and bred, represented Arsenal, Birmingham, Tottenham, Chelsea. Been around London quite a bit. Leah Brooks, the second youngest player in the squad. The youngest would be Soleil Washington. So this is the information on the squad. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed it, I'm kindly asking you to hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, to hit the subscribe button right here to Reggae Boys Commentary. Okay, guys? Hit the like button and then hit the subscribe button. Share this video around as well with persons so that they want to get to know the squad. I'm sure many players or many individuals that you're around in your family or friends want to know the squad a little bit better. So I'd encourage you, please, to share this video with others so they could get to know the squad. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like button and subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices, infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing, nutritious, and delicious. There are numerous flavors to choose from. There is strawberry sea moss, peanut hard-on, beet and thing, pineapple sea moss, mango sea moss, pineapple ginger, ginger root, cucumber ginger, and so much more. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Call now and you won't be disappointed. If you think the juices were good, then try Starboys Jello, full of flavor and sumptuous. Again, call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now.
Hi, my name is Lee Williamson. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
Hi, my name is Joby McAnuff. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary. I'm Javon Watson, and you're watching Reggae Boys commentary.
Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore, and you're watching Reggae Boys commentary.
Skin clean and nice and ting and ting. I'm Tiffany Cameron, Reggae Girl Striker, and you are watching the Reggae Boys commentary. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, Reggae Boys commentary, like and subscribe, yeah? Reggae Boys commentary, like, share, and subscribe.
Reggae Boys commentary, subscribe, like, and share. Is that the right order?